Hello everybody, Happy New Year to you, one and all. I hope you had a good one, I hope you're recovering, and I hope you're set for what is going to be, well, let's hope for a better year than we've had last time out. The rugby keeps coming, that's the good thing, and it's a welcome to the good, the bad, the Rugby Premiership Preview Show with BetUK.com. My name is Alex Payne, nice to be with you once again, and the Lord is in the house, or the Lord is in the manor this week. Hask is not only away, but has also jetted off somewhere on a work gig, apparently, having picked 4 out of 4. DJ Hask has...
he's basically handed in the towel because he was 4 from 4 and he's like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, exactly. Which was remarkable, actually, that he got 4 from 4. But
when you're guessing about things you never know, you always win more, don't you? It's like the horses, when you don't know anything about them, you pick on name and you actually come in. When you actually pay no attention to any detail, any form, then you can get lucky, can't you?
I always like bright colours in the parade ring. A stop clock is right twice a day, and Hask has managed to find that moment in his tipping. And this is a bit of an accompaniment to the main show. Cue the music. Those of you who'd like to pop in your questions into the YouTube section, once again, you'll be very welcome and breaking new ground. This is not the main show. That's out every Wednesday morning, as per usual. This is a gentle trot around the course of the week's games in the Gallagher Premiership. A few predictions from Mike and I thrown in along the way. Happy New Year, first of all. Last week we were talking with Hask about having to play on Boxing Day, particularly I think he played Christmas Day in Japan. Have you ever had to play whilst coming out of a very good New Year's Eve? Was that ever a thing? Or were you too pro?
No, in all fairness, as much as I liked a good night out, if we did have a New Year's Day game, I basically always pushed it back a day till the first. Sometimes the first is a better all day anyway. So, yeah, I think most of the times I would stay up till midnight, but I wouldn't really be hanging around. And then I'd push the celebrations on the next day. So it's annoying, but I think one thing you get used to is just having to deal with that. You don't actually think about days being special. It's like bank holidays. People live for getting bank holidays off. Never had a bank holiday off in my life, so I don't even treat them as holidays now. They don't even go into my head. So I think it's just something you've got to get used to. You get a lot of good times with playing professional sport, but you've also got to get used to just ignoring some of the times that you miss until you get to that point of retirement where you realise, damn, I really did miss out on Christmas and New Year's and bits and pieces like that. But you can always make up for it, which is simple.
What is noticeable, having not recorded with you for 2 weeks, is how empty your office suddenly looks.
Yeah, it's still got a lot of baggage, but they're all empty baggages now. They just need moving and putting away for next year.
Doing your bit for recycling.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go through the games. And for those of you watching, we're picking from quite a long way out, so that always makes for quite an interesting set of selections. Just before we do that, the T's and C's, don't forget that BetUK.com are the official Premiership Rugby Predictor app, and they are offering over 14 grand's worth of cash prizes throughout the 2020-2021 season. As you make your picks, you're going to be awarded points for each correct result that you choose. The player with the most accrued points at the end of the season wins a fantastic £5,000 worth of cash prize. It's completely free to play, so you never need to miss out. Don't forget the official Premiership Rugby Predictor app is available exclusively on BetUK.com's own app for players aged 18 and over, and that's as well as on iOS and on Android. It couldn't be simpler to make your picks for the upcoming games. All you need to do is, number 1, download the BetUK.com app. Number 2, register and log in to your BetUK.com account. Select the Premiership Predictor from the menu. Make your prediction of a home win, a draw or an away win for all 6 of the weekend's Premiership Rugby fixtures, with an asterisk, obviously, COVID dependent. And number 5, submit those predictions ahead of the weekend and hope you pick the winners. If you do, you're right in the money for the big cash prize. Don't forget, T's and C's apply, 18s and over, begambleaware.org. Good luck. Shall we start with, why don't we go second place Newcastle up against Bristol in third, the Friday night fixture. Have a nibble on this one first.
Yeah, it's tricky. I've been looking on the BetUK app, and obviously there's not that many bets available at the moment, but they are giving Newcastle a 13.5 point head start, which for a team that hasn't lost this season, even though they are going against the third place team, one below them, that's a lot of points to give away. I think both can score. I think they're just saying that Bristol are going to, they're going to get a bonus point on them. But I would be taking Newcastle plus 13.5 all day long. But if I was going to pick just either way, I think Bristol will get a home win. I just love the way that Bristol play. But I'm really impressed with what Newcastle are doing. You know, they've come up and they've won games that you didn't think they'd win. They've won games at last gasp in extra time. So I think they looked as a squad together like they'll fight for each other. And sometimes that's most of the battle, especially sort of this time of year when the weather can not be the best for flowing rugby. I think they look a solid team. So I am going to go with the Bristol home win. But if you are looking for a little sneaky bet, that 13.5 points, I think it's too much.
We've got the Norse on our side in this, which Tins, you and I will appreciate more than Hask. I'm not sure he's going to spend a lot of time looking through the stats and facts as we do this. But Briz, very much a second half team. 75% of their points this season have come in the second half. And that links very nicely to the great story that came out last week with Pat Lam issuing, I mean, not just throwing teacups, I think throwing grenades and bringing a bazooka into the half-time team talk. I just wondered on that whether you had ever had A, a remarkably good half-time team talk that changed it in the way it did for Bristol, or B, an incredibly bad one where you went from, hey, we're roller coastering this through to the wheels have come off and it's fallen apart.
No, well, big turnarounds. You could say was I don't think I've had an inspirational halftime talk that's changed everything. I think it all comes down to momentum, and if you can get early in the second half a little snap change, either you dominate a phase of play, get first points on the board, get second points, then suddenly your whole mindset changes and the whole belief thing. I've had a great one where people like someone like Dean Ryan's gone mad in the change rooms and he's gone to boot the Gatorade bucket. And it's literally full, so it weighs about 35 kilos. And you can clearly see on his face he's broken his foot, and he's not letting it stop his halftime chat and his halftime because he'd go mad if things weren't going right, and he's literally almost crying in pain that he can hardly walk. And then after he's finished with people walking out, I always used to go out last, and you sort of see him, and he's in the corner grabbing his ankle. But no, two
minutes with a physio, please.
Exactly. Could you just stay behind, Bobby? Just need to look at this. But no, I can't remember any sort of Churchillian rises to the cause where it's changed. I always find it comes down to those moments of clarity where you flip back to your basics, and then if you can get those in the first 10 minutes of the next game, that's where it changes, I think. And I think it's as simple as that. I don't think there are any match-winning speeches. I think there's small tactical changes that you can make, and then if they work in the first 10 minutes, then that changes your confidence level and your positivity in life.
Well done, Pat Lam. Well done, Bristol. I'm going to go with you, and I'm going to go Bristol home win. But I like your little nibble at Newcastle with a good, healthy start. Worcester Quins is off. Which is a real shame, actually, because that would have been very tasty, and actually I'd fancy Worcester in that one. But let's go to game 3 then, according to the card. First of 2 games on Saturday. Wasps, who beat Sale just after Christmas, taking on the champions Exeter at the Rico. Have a punt at this.
Yeah, I think this is a away win all day. I think I just think Wasps was too up and down at the moment. Obviously, they've beaten. I think they beat Bristol in their first game, and then they've slipped. They got smashed by Gloucester, who are sitting in 11th. Even though the scoreline flattened them a little bit when they came back into it into the last 10 minutes. But I just think you're playing the most consistent team in the league, who doesn't matter whether they're at home or away, know how to get things done against a team that can be world beaters, but then also can have their off day. So I think Exeter will roll into town and probably I think with the way they're defending as well, I think they'll probably pull their pants down a little bit. So I think it'd be quite a comfortable Exeter win on that.
The other game on Saturday, 11th placed Gloucester, who lost to the Chiefs 28-20 on Boxing Day, but actually played some of their better rugby for a while against a Sale side. Haven't won since Steve Diamond left the club. It's two sides slightly scrabbling about a bit at the moment, but Cherry and Whites to start a new year with a smile. Or Sale, the Norse tells me, are going for 3 in a row at Kingsholm.
Yeah, I mean, when I first looked at this, I thought it should be a Gloucester win. I know that Gloucester is sat in 11th, but I didn't think that Sale were up in 4th. And until I checked sort of the league table, and so they've won 2 of their games. I can't remember what their order of what they've had. Let me just have a little looky look. Obviously, lost to Wasps last weekend. They've beaten Northampton, and unfortunately, Northampton just haven't been firing. But then they got beat at the start of the season by Worcester. So a team that's sat in 4th, you sort of don't. I haven't been inspired by how they're playing. Obviously, they've lost Steve Diamond. Then they lost in the European with the new guy in charge. So I think there's a bit of change there. And I think for them to go down to Gloucester, yes, Gloucester showed a bit of resilience against Exeter. But I think this could go either way. But I'm going to stick, because they're my team, I'm going to stick with a Gloucester home win, because I think they should come out on top of this.
I agree. I'm going to go with you again. I think Gloucester relatively close to clinking. One thing I would be looking at is total points. I mean, Gloucester have conceded try-bonus points in all 4 of their Prem games and both their European fixtures this year. So if you like your Brazilian rugby, so to speak, you score 4, we'll score 5. Might be worth having a look at that. I think Gloucester.
The thing is, with that Sale team as well, you look at the internationals that are in it. It's an incredible team on paper, and if they click, they can beat anyone, as they proved sort of last season when they were up in the mix, and unfortunately, missed out on a playoff spot with that COVID incident. So, the ability is there, but at the moment, I don't feel we're really seeing it. But that's not to say it can't come out on. Are we on the 2nd now? Yeah, at Gloucester. Yeah. But I still think Gloucester need to win this if they've got any ambitions of being in the top half of the table.
On Sunday, 8th against 9th, Irish against Saints, tight in the table. I think it's going to be very tight on the final scoreboard as well. I'm actually going to go Northampton just. I think it's your old London bus scenario. They've been waiting, they've been biding their time, they've been searching. Suddenly they get a good win. And I think this is full sales time for Saints, who actually have had quite a good run of things against Irish. We're going to separate on our ways here, or are you going to?
No, I agree. I've actually been paying a lot of attention to the Saints recently, and they have actually played some really good rugby, and they're just missing out on just that final little 2% that would lead them to be beating teams comfortably. They're doing the opposite to what Newcastle are doing. They're losing games in the 80th minute, but I think a couple of wins under their belt, and they'll start moving forward, because I think they've got some great players who are setting the place alight. They're just not finishing things off, and I think they're due a little run. And I think Irish away is a good one for them to go down there and get that ball rolling.
Okay. And then last but not least, the final game in round 5 comes from Welford Road. Our very own Ellis and his Leicester Tigers take on 6th place Bath. Your old side, they've gone well at Welford Road recently, actually, Bath. They had a very good win there in August. Yeah. But again, 2 sides who definitely aren't where they want to be at this point. Not necessarily that you have to be, but 2 sides who are not where they want to be.
Yeah, and 2 sides you don't really know what you're going to get. Obviously, you look at Leicester, first game of the season, come out and smash Gloucester, look like a completely different team, and then settle back into a couple of old ways and now laying in 10th. So. And Bath again are just so inconsistent. They are another team that can be world beaters one day and then very average the next. So I don't know where this is going to go. Just because of how poor Leicester have been for the last 2 seasons, I'm leaning towards a Bath victory. And as the North says, that the last 2 seasons they've got away wins, but that has been Leicester's problem. I think Leicester are getting better, but they still haven't fixed all their problems that they've got through that team. And I think Bath can expose that if they play well. So I am going for an away win. I should have actually gone for a home win, because you'll definitely go for a away win because you're a Bath lovey.
Well, yeah, I mean, tepid. I'm a tepid Bath fan. I don't think either side are playing mad, bad, dangerous rugby, but I have actually tipped Bath only because of what they've done recently at Welford Road. So do you want to have a little ACCA? What are you going to pull out of what we've done there?
Well, if I went for what I think are the sure things, I would go obviously Exeter away. So if we pull, what are we going to pull? 3 or 4 out?
I've done 3. Okay, you can do what you like there.
So my 3 would be Exeter away.
Yeah.
Northampton away.
Yeah.
And I'll go What's going to be my acca? I would like to say Bristol, but I just got a sneaky feeling. I'm going to go Gloucester at home. So they're my 3.
So one I would worry about now is Saints at Irish. I've gone West Country treble. I've gone Bristol, Gloucester, both to win at home, and Bath to win at Welford Road. Just to pop a little bit of value in there. Nice. We shall see. What is irritating about that, though, do you want to add one more just to go 4 from 4 to level up with Hask, or do you just want to play it slow and steady wins the race?
Okay, I'll add Bristol in as well then.
All right. Okay. There you go. I only got 3 out of 4 last week. I went for a draw between, I think it was Wasps and Sale, just looking for a bit of value, just throwing them out there. But obviously that didn't come good.
I did see you went for a draw.
Hail Mary. I love a Hail Mary. Never comes home. Well done, Lord. Will you be watching a little glass of mulled wine?
Yeah, I think I will be. Yeah, I do. I've been trying to watch them, but because you can't really go out anywhere, and you can't really send the kids anywhere at the moment. You end up wrestling kids rather than being able to just sit down and watch something. So, but I will definitely be trying to. I have recorded them all.
Good. The battle for the remote control has begun. It's either Prem Rugby or it's Peppa Pig, I imagine.
Yeah. Or racing. It's quite racing.
There's a lot of good racing.
There's a lot of good racing on at the moment. So
there's a lot of good racing.
Got our eyes on that. Good.
Any tips in that?
The one tip I did have today has already gone. So right. Shall I depress you if it won or?
Yeah, go on.
We can obviously edit this because it's going to take me a little while to get it up now.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to read the T's and C's. Just a reminder, we're going to be making our selections via the official Premiership Rugby Predictor app. Tins, as I said earlier, you've got a lot to live up to. Hask 4 from 4 last week. Quite sure how that's happened. We're one of the greatest shocks of what's been a pretty average 2020, given his general knack of knowledge about the modern game, and all things apart from Harry Potter, it would seem. That is it for our BetUK.com Premiership preview show for another week. Hopefully our tips might be of some use if you're having a little flutter. Obviously do so responsibly and take your time, have a little look, enjoy it, keep it fun. Enjoy your New Year's Eve in whichever way you can. Don't forget the main show this week where you will have the chance to check in on some of the questions that you've been putting to the likes of Xander Ferguson, Lewis Ludlam and Luke Cowan-Dickey. Did you find whether you came back good or...
Yeah, so the 11-1 shot, Nelly's money, came in second. So if you did an each way bet, you would have won a nice little amount.
Good.
But you did say enjoy your New Year's Eve when we've already said it's Happy New Year at the start of the show.
Yeah, we did. So some wizard's going to have a bit of fun trying to pull that together. Hope you had a good New Year. Have a good New Year. Delete as appropriate. See you next week. Lots of love and hugs. Bye for now.